let's talk about the Secretary of State. The office holder is the state's Chief Elections Officer, Chief Corporations Officer, and Supervisor of State Archives. The Secretary of State in Washington is charged with overseeing key parts of the state's ballot initiative process, supervising state and local elections, and certifying the results of state primaries and general elections, filing and verifying initiatives and referendums, and producing and distributing the state voters pamphlet and election notice legal advertising. The Secretary of State is also the keeper of the seal of Washington and is responsible for regulating its use, affixing it to commissions, pardons, and other documents to which the signature of the governor is required, and filing and attesting to official acts of the legislature and the governor. Our first candidate for the Secretary of Washington State is Kim Wyman. According to Kim Wyman, Washington State ranks among the top states for election security, voter registration and turnout, election innovations, and voter outreach and information. She is proud to have worked in elections for the past 30 years, overseeing well over 100 elections at the county and state level. Kim Wyman was involved in the partnering with all 39 county election officials and created an award-winning, nationally recognized voter registration and election management system. This system provided the centralized security and accessibility that we needed not only to conduct the elections, but implement the new same-day and automatic registration and future voter legislation, which was passed in 2019. According to Kim Wyman, working with legislators, library stakeholders, and county auditors, we stabilized the funding for the state library. When she was sworn into office in 2013, the future of the state library was in doubt. The stable funding ensures our residents have access to first-rate research collection and that local libraries can maximize their resources with access to federal LSTA funds and programs. Kim believes she made it easier to do business in Washington by streamlining corporations and charity filing processes. Not only did she reduce the time it takes to register a business with the office, but they were able to reduce or eliminate a few fees, saving the customers $5.5 million each year to put back into our local communities. The second candidate for the Secretary of Washington State is Gail Tartleton. She is a member of the Washington House of Representatives, representing District 36, Position 2. And she assumed office on January 14th, 2013. Gail is a former senior defense analyst for the Pentagon, Port of Seattle Commissioner, International Business Director, and most recently worked at the University of Washington for more than 8 years before joining the Washington State Legislature in 2013. Gail has served in a variety of leadership roles as Majority Floor Leader for 3 years. She organized caucus messages and responses on matters being considered on her floor. She seeks to find solutions to the state's problems, including the regressive tax structure that limits government's ability to address a growing population, health and economic disparities, educational access, climate change, global economic forces, and risks to vulnerable populations. She believes that the reliance on outdated and insufficient taxation that harms middle class and working families can no longer be the standard operating procedure in Washington State. Gail has served on several boards and work groups such as Women's Legislators Lobby, the Pacific Northwest Economic Region, and Legislators Energy Horizons Institute. She holds a master's degree from Georgetown University and a bachelor's of science from Georgetown School of Foreign Services. Gail was the youngest person ever to receive in public the Director of Central Intelligence's National Intelligence Medal of Achievement for recognition of her exceptional contributions to protecting vital national interests.